Bonjour, in this video we're going to see the verb to be, être in French, actually more about this verb, the difficulties in English and in French. With me, Pascal. Let's start with the first part when to be is followed with an adjective. What is an adjective? Well, an adjective adds more information about the subject. She is tall, so where is the adjective here? Of course, the adjective is tall. Why? Because tall adds more information about the subject she. So we know that now that she is tall. Okay? The same thing in French. Let's see the first difference. The first difference is that in French there is an agreement between the subject and the adjective of the sentence. Il est blanc, he is white. So here we've got the masculine form of the color white, blanc in French. So why the masculine form? Because actually we've got here il, he, which is male. Il est blanc. If we have now the feminine sentence, elle est blanche, and as you can see there is an agreement. So blanc becomes blanche, which is the irregular feminine form of blanc, blanche. And why? Because we have she, so a female as the subject. We have more examples with plural. Ils sont grands. In this case we add s. Elles sont grandes. Feminine and plural, we need es at the end of the word grand. They are tall. Tu es français in this sentence, because we've got français, which is masculine. You know that tu is a male. In the second sentence, tu es française, because française is a feminine adjective. We know that tu or you in this case is a female thing that you can't know actually in English. There is exception when the masculine form already ends with the letter E, like the word tranquille, the adjective tranquille. In this case, there is no change. We have the same word, masculine and feminine. Il est tranquille, elle est tranquille. Okay? Let's see a second difference with professions. There is no indefinite article in this case. In English, you say, I am a doctor. And in this case, you need the indefinite article a. In French, you don't need it. Je suis docteur. So, je suis docteur is the correct translation of I am a doctor. You don't say je suis un docteur. This is not correct French. She is a student. Well, now you understand. So, this is the same thing. Elle est étudiante. Elle est étudiante with no indefinite article. So about professions and activities. Let's see now the case of this little expression c'est. C'est, well, it's a bit more difficult that we may know, because actually it's not just a translation of it is also the translation of his and she's. So when do we know, or how do we know in France that we have to use c'est instead of il est or elle est with the proper subject to translate he, his and she's? Well, first, when it is about describing something, we always use c'est. For example, c'est beau, it's beautiful, c'est grand, it's big, it's tall, c'est froid, it's cold, c'est génial, it's great. But here it's not too difficult because actually c'est is a translation of it is. Let's see now when we have his or she's. C'est followed with a noun. He's a friend in this case, so we have the expression is in English, and we've got a noun friend here. How are we going to translate this in French when we have he is followed with a noun? Actually, we are going to use c'est un ami. C'est un ami. You can't say il est un ami. In French, it is not correct at all. So he is French is c'est un ami. You've got he is followed with a noun, c'est un ami. Another example, she is my cousin. So the same thing here, we've got she is followed with a noun, cousin. So in French, we are going to say c'est ma cousine. C'est ma cousine. You remember that we've got some difference about professions. We are going to find it in the same with this third part. He is a doctor. He is a doctor in French. Well, il est docteur. You don't say c'est un docteur. C'est un docteur is not a complete sentence. You need something afterwards to complete your sentence. So he is a doctor. The translation is il est docteur. Il est docteur. However, if you just add now an adjective, good, he's a good doctor, well, in this case, again, you need the small expression c'est. c'est un bon docteur. And you can't say il est un bon docteur in this case. So, it is easy to remember that when you have an adjective, actually, after the expression is or she is, you need to use c'est. Even if you've got a noun in this case, but what you've just a noun alone, well, it is possible to use, like in this expression, he's a doctor, il est docteur. Okay? Well, we are going to see now another expression, c'est, in this case, to insist, and it is very French to speak like that. C'est to insist. Mon frère est en train de chanter, my brother is singing. This is correct French. If you speak like that in France, everybody is going to understand you. Italy, we have more French. In French, we prefer to say c'est mon frère qui chante. C'est mon frère qui chante. This is the same thing actually. Mon frère est en train de chanter. Just we insist in this sentence about my brother. He is my brother who is singing. So, but it's very French to speak like that, to use c'est, a noun followed with qui. C'est someone qui. More examples. C'est ma sœur qui a fait ça. My sister did that. Again, we've got here c'est followed with qui. C'est l'ordinateur qui ne marche pas. So it works with things too. C'est l'ordinateur qui ne marche pas. The computer does not work. Ok? Allez, maintenant, c'est fini. Alors, au revoir et bon français!